Hi guys, it's Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make some fabulous cheesesteak egg rolls. I figured I'd share this recipe with you right now this time of year because if you're having any holiday parties or like a New Year's Eve party, these would be like the best addition to your menu ever. They're really easy and simple. You can add so many different things to them. You can change up the flavor a lot. This is my basic sort of filling recipe, which is what we love because it's about as close as possible that I can get it to like my favorite restaurant when we always get cheesesteak egg rolls. So let me share it with you because the ingredients you'll need for the entire recipe are very, very few. Let's get started. For the beef, I find this works very best. You will find this in your frozen section of your grocery store. They're called cheesesteak beef. It's actual beef, but it's been really thinly sliced. As you can see, look how thin that is. It's been shaved really, and then they freeze them individually like so, like between pieces of wax paper. That way you get that really fine shredded cheesesteak meat like you would at a deli. But you can use ground beef or some really thinly sliced steaks instead. I've got chopped mushrooms and onion, olive oil, salt, and pepper. You're also going to need some cheese. I like to use American cheese because that's just what I like, and some egg roll wrappers and frying oil. That's it, and they're so good. Let's get started. I've got a large skillet here with some olive oil. To it, I'm going to add my onion, thinly sliced onion, and my mushrooms. Now, you can change things up a million ways, and maybe in the future I'll show you my Italian version because I do that with, you know, a bunch of other stuff in it, and provolone, and it's really fantastic. But this is my standard, and I love it. Everyone loves it. You can use different dipping sauces for it. I like to do a sriracha ketchup, which is just ketchup with a little bit of sriracha in there for heat. But like I said, anything will work. These are just my favorite. I'm going to just saute these for about, I would say, 4 to 6 minutes or until they cook down and develop some color. And then we'll add the beef. Veggies look great. Start adding your beef. Look, you can see you break it up like that. Really, really easy. This is how I always make chicken cheesesteak, cheesesteaks, anything that calls for a cheesesteak, because I worked in my dad's pizza shop for years, so I'm accustomed to like that flavor and that texture. But like I said, you can use ground beef here if you can't find this or you choose not to want to use it, because it works really well. Other steaks which you can use, you just have to be careful not to overcook them because they can become too tough, and then when you go ahead and eat your cheesesteak egg roll, it's a little bit tough to eat. I'm just breaking them apart, and I'm going to cook this for just a couple of minutes until the steak is fully cooked through. And I'm going to also season it with some salt and pepper after I wash my hands, after I add all the beef. My beef is all cooked. It's really important that when you take it out of the pan, you need to use a slotted spoon or tongs because there will be a lot of fat remaining in your skillet, and you don't want any of that fat. So then what I have here is some American cheese and some egg roll wrappers. I also have some frying oil coming up to temperature at 350. I fried something in here earlier, so don't worry about that. And I have a little bit of water. It's important to keep your egg roll wrappers under a damp paper towel so they don't dry out. And this is how I do it. I kind of put the egg roll wrapper like that near me. Take a piece of cheese. I fold that in half, right? Take a little bit of your filling. And this makes a lot. I'm only going to do 8 now and then save the rest of the filling for another day. Wet the entire edges with some water because this is kind of going to be your glue. Now I know people are going to ask me whether or not you can bake these, and then you kind of just fold it like so. And the truth is, I have tried to bake them. For me, they never come out right. They always come out gluey in the center, never fully cooked, and I can't stand that. So basically you can see I'm kind of rolling them up like that. See? I'll show you another one really quickly, and then I'll carry on with the rest. So put it in front of you kind of like a diamond. Then you put a piece of cheese right in the center like so. Some of the filling, which smells fantastic by the way. If you want less cheese, if you don't want your cheesesteak egg rolls to be really cheesy, then use a half a slice of cheese, but I have never met a single person that's ever complained about my cheesy egg rolls, so I'm just going to keep it with one whole piece folded in half. Just wet your edges like that, and then starting at the corner closest to you, You fold it over, right? Don't worry if it doesn't stick. Don't worry if this part doesn't stick. Fold it over like so. This part will stick because it's got the water. Then I push it down, put a little more water like that, and then fold again. See? Lovely little parcel. Once my oil comes up to 350, I'm going to start frying these a few at a time. I don't like to overcrowd the pan because the more you put in, the temperature of your oil is going to drop more and more. So I want to keep it at about 350. That way they cook perfectly and evenly, and I'm going to let them cook until they're about golden brown and crispy. Drain them on a paper towel lined plate and show you what they look like when they're done. Putting my other 4 in. I took 4 out. I let them sit for just a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna cut into them so that you can see what they look like, because you don't need to wait for that. Come on now. Look at that. Cheesy for cheesy. Hot though. Oh, they look so good. Yeah. That's really good. So hot. Cheesy. The onion and the mushroom, it has to happen for me. A little bit of sriracha ketchup on these and it's going to be phenomenal. I'm going to continue to make the rest of them. You don't need to see what these look like when they come out because clearly you can see how beautiful golden brown they are. What you need to do is you need to go to laurainthekitchen.com to get this recipe. Make it for your holiday party or your New Year's Eve party or whatever, or for just a dinner for 4. You never have to leave the scene of the crime when you make fried food, which is one of the greatest things about it. laurainthekitchen.com has you covered with the recipe. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!